What's up, everybody? We're in the northeast area of Kansas City at the Scarlett residence. I'm with Duma. She is a friend, an investor, a realtor, a lawyer. She wears many hats, a mother. She's gonna be taking us through one of the coolest deals I think you're ever gonna hear about. Break it down for us.
Well, okay, so like Troy said, we're here in the northeast of Kansas City, and where we stand is known as what's called an opportunity zone. And there's a really cool tax play that I don't think enough people understand, take advantage of, especially somewhat young investors like us.
Right.
Not that we're like super young, but young enough.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, yeah, fair. But point. If you're 80, maybe opportunity zone isn't for you because it's a play that you have to hold the property for 10 years. And I'll explain more about that. It really is a huge thing that people are not taking enough advantage of. But in these areas, in addition to, like me as a single investor that's gotten this house and have all these plans for it, other more institutional investors are in these areas as well. So we do anticipate some capital growth, which you never can bet on, but is a good play. Okay. In addition to that, as you can see kind of probably just from looking at this house, it's historic. And it is not on the register yet. I'm in the process of that right now.
Right.
But we are in a historic district. This district is called the Scarlett residence.
Right.
And so this home has been identified as a contributing piece of architecture to this historic district. Do your people know a lot about historic tax credits?
Do you guys know a lot about historical tax credits? No.
Okay, here's the deal. They are so amazing. Let's say I've got to put a new roof on, right? And this roof probably needs to go. It looks like it's slate. You'll see as we get up there.
Right.
It's not slate. It's rubber.
Rubber.
Who puts a rubber roof on?
Rubber doesn't meet the roof.
It does not meet the roof. It's terrible. So I need to put a new roof on. That's going to be probably close to $100,000.
Okay.
Now, normally if I'm investing, right, that's just $100,000 out of my pocket.
Right.
And I've got to hope that that's a capital improvement that's going to make me money somehow. Now, if you get it qualified as a historic tax credit project, that roof, for every dollar I spend, I get 25 cents back from the state of Missouri, okay?
Right.
For a historic tax credit. Now, that 25 cents, you're thinking, I'm not rich enough to have that much money in tax credits for the state of Missouri.
Right.
Their income tax is what, 6%, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. So you have to make a shitload of money to make that make sense on a state level.
A shipload.
A shipload, yes. So what do you do with all these tax credits, right? They're no good if you can't use them.
Right.
You can sell them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who buys them?
Commerce Bank buys them.
Commerce Bank. What do they pay you on the dollar?
About, if it's a good year, 92 cents. If it's a year, 89 cents.
Ship year, 92 cents. Just messing with you.
Can we not cuss?
No, you're good. I'm just with
Okay.
you. So real quick, let's just take a quick little jaunt around here. We've got a big, old, beautiful building here. We should buy that one.
Okay, so here's the deal. The Northeast is a transitioning neighborhood.
Right.
What that means is you're going to have some really beautiful homes and you're going to have some really great people that care about their community.
Right.
And then you're going to have some landlords that do something like what we have down here in the corner.
Ridiculous.
No, there was a fire there yesterday and people could have gotten hurt. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
There's prostitution run out of there. They're usually peddling for drugs because there's a drug ring run out of there as well. That's a challenge, okay?
That's not a real estate play, though.
No, it is when we kick that landlord out that I'm about to sue.
Nice.
Buy it.
That's why you always want to get your law degree. Like, one of the things I tell my children, get your law degree, get your law degree, get your law degree. Your father's an attorney.
My brother's an attorney.
Brother's an attorney. I wouldn't say you're a real estate agent anymore. Would you?
No. I mean, I do have a real estate law practice, but I only take very certain clients that...
And you won't take me, which is interesting.
I won't.
Good call.
We wouldn't get along. We would not get along.
Why? You think I'd be a problematic client?
If the first time you yelled at me and I'd have to drop kick you and you punch me back and then we'd be in a brawl.
Right, probably.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, well, that's fine. At least we know the problem. All right, so let's walk through the exterior property line. Let's walk us through. What did you pay for the property?
So this was an interesting deal because I bought this from a really nice man, but he was by himself, and this house is about 6,500 square feet, and it was full of antiques and stuff, and you couldn't walk in it.
Right.
And I know how much it takes to clear something like that out, and it was kind of a challenge because there were some things that had value.
Right.
So it wasn't just like get the junkers in and move it all.
Right.
It was like, I know the junkers are going to cost me $4,000 to clear the place, but I had to get estate sale people, auctioneers. There was layer after layer of pulling all this out.
Did you make some money?
Not really. Wouldn't do it again. My first offer price in this house was $650,000.
Right.
I ended up buying it for $750, fully furnished.
What was it listed for?
$750.
$750. Bought it fully furnished because you thought you could recoup some on the...
I thought I could recoup some, but also I'm operating it as an Airbnb.
Okay.
Which is something else that I'll talk a little bit about.
Right. We got multiple real estate places. We got tax credits, opportunity zones, Airbnb.
I mean, the Airbnb is going to require rezoning and some other things that are a little bit, people feel very overwhelmed about, but really aren't that difficult if you just have the bandwidth to do it.
Are you taking new clients besides myself?
It depends.
All right. You get a big checkbook. How can they get a hold of you?
It's not even that. I really have to like your cause. Like,
Right.
I really have to feel strongly like I can help you or that you're being treated unfairly.
So I should set a red herring in with you, which would be my wife, and say like, yeah, I've got this. That would be the play with for you.
And your kids? Absolutely.
Yes.
If something bad happens to them, I will represent you like that.
All right. So what happened here?
You know, just as you do, as soon as I bought it, about a month later, this wall collapsed. Now, this is interesting because with historic tax credits, you can, everything that applies to the footprint of the house, it qualifies for a historic tax credit.
Right.
Now, you guys, we're going to make an argument that this applies to the footprint of the house because as you can see, this wall is very clearly attached down here to the house.
Right.
And as we walk up the stairs, it continues to be part of the house.
Right.
Now, the state of Missouri might disagree. We might have to discuss it a little bit more, but
Right.
we're hoping when we repair all of this that we can get that 25 cents on the dollar from the state and then an additional 20 cents on the dollar from the federal government.
So 45 cents total. So let's say for argument's sake, and that maxes out at 50% of the property value, right?
Yes, you have to improve the property.
Up to 50%.
Oh, it's 100% minus the land value.
Let's break down the historical tax credits. Okay, so I've got two schools. I've got the federal, which is 20% or 25?
20%.
I got the state, which is 25.
Yes.
Out of the 750, I have to put at least 50% of that into rehab.
We jumped around on price a little bit on this,
Right.
but I knew I wanted to have it be a historic tax credit project. So in order for me to take it with all the contents, the two private parties, myself and the seller, we negotiated the fact that the contents of the house, which are all antiques and highly valued,
Right.
would be worth $250,000.
Right.
Okay, so that means that my buy price for the property is $500,000. So that means that I have to spend that, or I have to spend minus the land value, that minus the land value.
Okay.
So I'm looking at, if I really wanted to push it, I'm looking at spending minimum $300,000.
Okay.
But I want to maximize. There's no reason to go to all this trouble if you're not going to maximize what you're doing.
Right.
So I'm looking at. I went all the way up to $750 in my declarations of what I plan to spend.
Okay.
Now, you want to get real geeky because this is geeky
Totally.
stuff.
I'm
Okay.
geeky.
Okay. So you mentioned that I'm a lawyer.
Right.
I'm also obviously a small-time developer. I am a lawyer for myself in
Right.
this property. So I pay myself $1, and then my other self gets 45 cents back for all the legal work that I've had to do to get all this organized.
Oh, so you're getting...
Yeah, now it gets better.
Oh, I like this. Okay, break this down because I'm barely following. So
Okay.
if I'm barely following, I'm sure these people are having a hard time.
Sure. Okay. This is what's called soft costs, and that's historic tax credit money that you can get back. Now, if you're just a normal Joe Schmo, you have to hire a lawyer.
Right.
You have to hire a developer.
Right.
You have to hire somebody that's going to make all these moving parts work. For me, I'm hiring myself, my other LLCs to
Right.
do this. So I've got a development LLC. I've got my lawyer LLC. I've got my development LLC. So while I'm paying myself
Right.
all this money,
Right.
I'm making 45 cents back on the dollar. So that's really.
What's your
good
hourly
stuff.
rate? $1 million.
But that's kind of the secret that the big developers, like, that's how they make their money.
Man, it just blows my mind every time. Let's go into the building. Let's check this thing out. It blows my mind though, like all these creative things that we start. I'm learning here. Like this is amazing. Like all these crazy things. I had a good meeting with Caleb from Exact Development. Do you know who they are?
I do.
Elon's partner.
Oh, yeah, I do.
He was talking a mile a minute just like you, and I'm like, my mind is blown. I thought I knew a lot about real estate, but it shows you how much you don't know when you're getting into like historical tax rates and why developers basically don't have to use any of their own money.
And so here's the other kind of cool thing. Once you get these tax credits qualified, you can get a loan from Commerce Bank or another bank just based on the future tax credit.
Right. That's what everybody's doing.
That's what everybody does.
Yeah. So that's called tax increment
Financing.
All right, so Megan, can you break down the numbers for us on this property?
Yeah, so we acquired the property for $750,000.
Okay.
$250,000 of that was personal property, not real estate. We did that, so our basis would be $500,000. Now that means we got to spend $500,000 with historic tax credits.
Okay, $500,000 in tax credits.
And we kind of went through earlier what that was going to look like. A lot of it's exterior. We're going to say $300,000 is exterior,
$300,000 exterior,
$100,000 interior, and then $100,000 soft costs.
$100,000 lawyer costs.
Lawyer, developer.
Lawyer, developer. Okay, cool.
Because, I mean, I've done more, like, you have your real estate agent stuff, which can all be handled by a lawyer. That's what I handled.
Right.
And you have your development stuff. And when I say developer fee, we still do a lot. So we have to get all this paperwork done. We have to find the historic tax credit people, get them everything that they
Right.
need. Get all the documents done.
Right.
We have to find financing for the project.
Right.
And so that's what the developer does. And so the developer fee is capped at about 15%, but we have that $100,000 of soft costs, which is all getting paid to me, which means that I'm off the top of this, just me,
Right.
I'm going to make $45,000.
$45,000 paid by.
Paid by the federal government and the state government. And so that's kind of just the historic tax credit numbers there.
Right.
Now, because I'm putting all these capital improvements in, we're in an opportunity zone, price is likely going to go up, then when I sell this property in 10 years, I save about, what, $500,000, let's say, in taxes.
$500,000 in taxes because you're in an opportunity zone, and any gain that you make off the sale minus your cost basis, which is going to be significantly lowered from the historical tax credits, goes in your pocketbook tax-free.
Yeah, so just by using these LLCs, how we've done it, me personally, I'm at like a $550,000 gain, okay? The third component of that is when it is operating as a short-term rental, a lot of the times I'll be making between $10,000 and $15,000 a month, okay? I can get a commercial loan based on the value that I'm making at a much higher level.
That is called DSCR, right? Debt service coverage ratio.
Yes. I don't know all those acronyms because I've learned them once and then I've forgotten them. I just know what to do. But yeah, so at that point, if I can sell
HTML. I'm just kidding.
Point being, if I can get this value up by the virtue of how much money the property's making, I might be able to sell to an owner-operator just to hand it off and make all those margins even more.
Nice.
But during this time, it's not like I'm out of money. I'm cash flowing. I never don't cash flow. Never. With short-term rentals, I have to be able to pretend like the short-term rental is going to fall through for some reason, and I still have to cash flow with long-term rent.
Right.
If that doesn't happen, it does not pass my test.
If people want to follow the Megan Duma journey, how do they follow you? Are you on Instagram? Are you on social? Are you on Facebook?
I will be launching, and we can hashtag this because I'll be launching it soon, to follow this project, this renovation project. And I'm not really sure what to call this house yet. I'm thinking about just like
Hashtag Scarrett House.
Hashtag the mansion. Well, it's a Scarrett residence. That's the neighborhood.
Hashtag Scarrett Mansion.
I don't like scare it because it has the word scare in it.
Hashtag Gladstone Mansion.
Maybe.
Hashtag Duma Mansion.
No, I'm not self-glorifying.
Hashtag Chris Manson. Hashtag Geronimo Mansion.
That's kind of cool. I like that one.
Okay.
I like that one.
What do you guys think? What should be the hashtag on this beautiful mansion in downtown Kansas City in the historical Northeast? What do you think? Should we have Megan back on? I think the next video you need to do with us is like walk us through how you set this whole thing up on paper. Are you down with that?
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check you on the next one. Peace.